Okay, so I'm happy to see our next block is a little less interactive. And it's definitely less interactive in the way that I designed it out versus the website version too. So here we have four fun icons, some text, a button, and an image on the background. So you can see what I did to achieve this look. There's a little less detail going on though. So all I did was an image and text. I pulled this image from the website and that transferred over really nicely. I stylized the text to match the course. And you can see these are my settings. These are, I believe, the exact same as the first image and text block that I showed at the top of the course that I used with the video. So same thing, because this image was roughly the same size as the video that I saved. So this section was actually really easy. I just had to change out the background color using the color picker to match with the photo, and it was a piece of cake. But I am looking at this and trying to remember, why didn't I include that? Well, it was tricky to include for sure. We talked about that button already, and if I wanted to include it, it would have to be a separate piece below the text. It couldn't all be together, and it felt a little bit isolated and awkward. So, just to refresh your memory, let me toss in a button real quick. And you'll see it just doesn't feel so great. I wish there was more we can do, and now I'm a little inspired to continue suggesting some more mighty edits and see what we can accomplish. But you see how that feels kind of weird. And then, of course, again, we can't add in four images to image and text. So that's going to be weird, and we have to do that separately. So I have to do this gallery, or I could probably do like the text columns too or something and play around with that. So let's look at what it looks like. Yeah, so we do have text here, so I might actually want to use, instead of this, I might want to do the column text and then change that to 4. And then also say, let's turn those images on. Now, what else can I do? We don't have the option to send things over to the left, so it won't be able to align with the text over here. This is as far as we're going to be able to get it. And let's remind ourselves, we do have 4 images. So let's see, can I save these? Awesome, of course I can. This website makes it so easy to save all of these assets and just plug them into Rise. So let's do that. So let's first change out the background using the mighty color picker. And then let's upload these images. So I believe it's the icon $, desktop, $, and then the phone probably, and then maybe the car, and then the X. Yeah, so okay, that looks really bad. So this is where I would want to go back into Figma. We've talked about how much I love it there. And I would set up a frame down here. And I mean, some kind of guess. And I would take that image, drag it. Ooh, we can see how small that is. So if I expand it, it'll get pixelated because it's a small image. So I'm going to see what I can do here. Trying to align this with the size of the Rise dimension. So we know that the columns has images that are pretty rectangular, not square. So that's what I'm trying to replicate here. But since this is so tiny of an image, I'm just gonna label this frame, icon, whoa, I can't spell, $, no process, because no process tag will help this not compress and help us keep it nice and sharp if we can, but I have a feeling it's not going to, so we're just gonna see. So I just exported that image. Now I'm gonna upload the one that has the frame. So if you look close, you can see the difference between the $sign was square and now it's rectangular. and I left aligned it so it'll line up with that text. So that looks bad because it's so small. But I could also just take off the fill, re-export, and that'll allow it to at least be transparent and not have that white background on it. So that's cool. Let's re-upload. See how it looks. Okay, that's decent. It also looks now like it's cropping because I don't have the exact dimensions. So I'm just going to crank that over just a little bit. See how it works. Re-export. Hopefully this is the last time. I get sucked down these spirals of exporting images over and over again just to get it pixel perfect. And okay, that's a little bit better. So we could do that. We could apply this, all 4 of those images. I'll just upload the $sign so we can get like an idea of how it would look to have images in the columns. And will it feel weird and disconnected from the rest? It kind of does, but it could work. Let's see what we have here. There's no padding that we can take off of here. So what else could we do? This image is really holding us up. So, I mean, if worse came to worse, I could just start copying this text. Let's see if I can match the style and get that color going. So there's also a gap here. And even if I took off the zoom on here, trying to do anything I can, maybe I could change the column spacing. That didn't really help that much. You see it actually took off the edges on there. So, in my opinion, it just looks bad in comparison to the website. So if I'm trying to make a one-to-one of the website to my Rise course, that's why I left it out, because it wasn't helping me at all. It wasn't adding value or anything. But I do think there could be some flexibility. I think if we took maybe this image out, we could possibly even use it as an image background and do more of a full width image behind this whole thing rather than just the square. That would help us be able to adjust the padding underneath, bring this up a little bit more, and it would still be off. It wouldn't be left aligned, but it would have that indent. And I think that could still look pretty cool. We could have the text filling in there, and I think that would be okay. But for now, since I'm just playing around and just trying to please myself with this design, I'm going to leave it at this.